Two major fires are prompting evacuations and closures in Butte County this morning. The Cherokee fire north of Oroville has closed Highway 70, and another fire that started in Yuba County has moved into Butte County. The LaPorte fire has burned 3,000 acres. You'll hear from a man who was at the scene of both Butte County fires.
And all fires burning across Northern California really being driven by some very gusty winds this morning, prompting several red flag warnings. Those stories and more coming up on this half hour of Daybreak.
This is Daybreak, your morning news source. From the North State to the North Coast, get the facts right.
In Butte County, two fires are prompting mandatory evacuations this morning. The LaPorte fire started in Yuba County last night, but in the last few hours spread into Butte County, prompting some very tense moments. CAL FIRE tells us the LaPorte fire has burned 3,000 acres just in Butte County alone. The neighboring Cascade fire is still at 2,500 acres as of the last update. That's in Yuba County. There are new mandatory evacuation orders for the LaPorte fire. They are for Los Vergeles Road and LaPorte Road, as well as all of the roads off of LaPorte Road from Robinson Mill Road south to Dunstone, and Oro Banger Highway from Yuba County to Avocado Road, including Avocado Road. Now, we have brand new numbers this morning from the Cherokee fire. This one is burning north of Oroville in Butte County. It's grown to 4,000 acres and is 10% contained. It's burning off of Cherokee Road and Zonalea Lane north of Oroville. This is near Butte Valley, and you see the size of the flames that our reporter Taylor Torregano got really close to early this morning. She described seeing homes and structures burning. CAL FIRE said it burned down to Highway 70, closing Highway 70 between Highway 149 south to the Table Mountain overcrossing. We're keeping you up to date on the changing evacuation orders. We have them continuously updated at the bottom of your screen as we hear more from firefighters. First Alert meteorologist Jeremy Linder is in for Mike Kruger, tracking the high winds that are pushing these fires. Jeremy?
Yeah, Kelly, that's right. We've been seeing gusts this morning up to 30 miles per hour for some portions, maybe even stronger as you work your way towards the foothill and the higher elevations. At the same time, we're seeing some pretty moderate temperatures, but don't let this fool you. When it comes to fire behavior, it's more the winds and the dry conditions that really drive the high fire danger we're seeing right now. Currently standing at 56 degrees over in Oroville, where both the Cherokee and the LaPorte fire are burning nearby. 61 for Corning, 60 over in Red Bluff, back into the 50s for Hayfork, and even the 40s right now over in Crescent City. Fortuna dropping off to 37 degrees, so some portions of the coast quite cool and chilly this morning as well. There's a look at that wind advisory still in effect here for a few more hours till 9 a.m. for the foothills and the crest of the Sierra, where those strongest gusts will be. The good news is we will see some improving conditions later on, but it won't be to this afternoon. That's when the red flag warning should be allowed to expire. 5 o'clock for those in the North State, 3 o'clock for Trinity, Humboldt, and Del Norte County. Those gusty winds in combination with humidity between 10 to 15% is what is driving our high fire danger. With that, I'm keeping our threat tracker in the moderate category. It's in medium today, but it will start to drop back off as we head towards the tail end of the afternoon. Notice it drops to the low category for both Tuesday and Wednesday with those improving conditions. Kelly?
Well, on the North Coast, another fire has prompted mandatory evacuations in Mendocino County. In Redwood Valley, there are mandatory evacuations on the following streets: East Road, West Road, Tomke Road to Canyon Road in Willits, Golden Rule Subdivision, and Reeves Canyon. There are also evacuation warnings for all of Redwood Valley south of Schoolway to Highway 20 and to Horseshoe Circle. Highway 101 is closed from Yuba north to Ridgewood Grade. Schoolway from Highway 101 has been closed as well. There's an evacuation center at Ukiah High School for those south of the fire, and a center at Willits Community Center for evacuees north of the fire. There's an evacuation center for large animals at the Ukiah Fairgrounds main parking lot and at the Willits High Farm. The sheriff's office asked people to call one of the 3 numbers on your screen with non-emergency calls about the fire, so they can leave 911 open for emergency calls only. Also on the North Coast, evacuations have been lifted and the highway reopened after a fire broke out in Blue Lake. Our North Coast news team was at the scene. It started around 4:40 yesterday afternoon east of Eureka off Blue Lake Boulevard and Highway 299. CAL FIRE said it burned 25 acres. We spoke with the incident commander about what may have caused it.
It's believed to have been started possibly by power lines falling due to the winds, but that's not confirmed, so it's still pretty much under investigation with that.
CAL FIRE says one structure was destroyed. We are following those breaking news fires in Butte County this morning. Reporter Tiffany Wong is at the scene of the Cherokee fire that has now burned 4,000 acres north of Oroville in the Butte Valley area. And she has new information about what she saw overnight. Tiffany?
Kelly, that's right. I'm on Table Mountain Boulevard and Cottonwood Road. This is one of the roads that's being evacuated. This tree right behind me just fell down because the flames have gotten to it. Behind me, everything just is on fire right now. There's a lot of smoke. It's kind of difficult to breathe out here. Freaking, I could see it when I was driving down here from Reading. I could see the smoke and the fire when I was at least 20 minutes away. The traffic coming here from Reading wasn't too bad, but I know in the opposite direction, people heading northbound on Highway 70, people heading north on Highway 70, there was a lot more traffic than heading towards here. And as you can see, it is very windy, it is very cold. I'm wearing 2 jackets out here, and I've been talking to CAL FIRE crews. Everyone's very busy, you know, battling this fire because, like I said, it's very windy, and I'm standing right across the road from the fire lines, but I am safe. And just looking at it, I can see the fire growing because of the flames. Again, very smoky around here. Crews are starting to move out of the way because the cars passing through. As you can see, utility trucks are out here. Fire crews are working hard out here to fight this fire. And like I said, trees are falling down behind me. This is one of the roads that's being evacuated, and Highway 70 is closed. There's a lot of traffic if you're coming out of Oroville. I just want to let you guys know that I am 22 miles southeast of Chico and 5 miles northwest of Oroville. Live out here in Oroville, Tiffany Wong, KRCR News Channel 7.
Just hazardous conditions this morning. It was tough for her just to get there with the road closure. So we appreciate that update from Tiffany Wong at Table Mountain Boulevard and Cottonwood Road, where you can see she's right there on the fire lines at the Cherokee fire, which has now burned 4,000 acres. We're staying on top of the latest evacuation orders. We have them at the bottom of your screen. And coming up, you'll hear from one witness who's been on the fire lines all night long. And there's a large fire burning in Napa County. We'll tell you about the evacuations from the Atlas fire coming up on Daybreak.
And these gusty winds and very dry conditions is what's fueling a lot of these wildfires, prompting red flag warnings. But we will see some improving conditions later on today. I'll have those full details with that forecast for the rest of the week coming up.